Hi, I'm Joel Peterson from Ravenswood Winery. I'm the founder and winemaker.
What do you think needs to be done to get Zinfandel kind of recognised and regarded on the on the world stage as a world-class wine?
Well, I think that it needs to be made as a world-class wine. Zinfandel has many styles. Unlike things like Cabernet or Pinot Noir, it doesn't really have a European antecedent to be measured against, so it gets to set its own style. Unfortunately, what that's meant is that there have been a lot of styles that have been made. It means that some of them are slightly sweet and fairly alcoholic, lots of oak, and others tend to be drier. So Zinfandel really needs to find its style, and when it's made well, it's really an exceptional wine, which will not only stand up on the table with good food and will also compare with other great wines in the world, but will actually age well. So I have wines that I've made that are from the 80s, early 80s, that I am still consuming and sharing with people to their surprise, I think, mostly, how good they are. I've also tasted very old wines. So Zinfandel needs to prove itself in that kind of arena. And the wines have to be to people's taste as well.
So do you think Zinfandel is actually built for age? Because there's been a lot of discussion that it should really be drunk early and that kind of falls off after about 10 years, but do you disagree?
Well, I think you could make the same argument for Bordeaux. I think I could show you a tasting of Bordeaux where Bordeaux hasn't held up at all well. But I could also show you a tasting of Bordeaux where Bordeaux was absolutely spectacular. You could taste wines going back to 1929. Same is true of Zinfandel. Yes, many Zinfandels were never made to age or develop or change with time. But when you get a great vineyard, made in the correct way, the wines are actually beautiful and do hold up very well. So, it's what you choose to drink. It's and what you choose to make, as opposed to a blanket statement about Zinfandel aging or not aging.
So what kind of characteristics they take on with age?
I'd say that if you had a really good old Zinfandel, it would kind of taste to you like a cross between an old Rhone and an old Northern Italian wine, say a Barolo. It has that kind of autumnal quality about it, but it also has this kind of richness and depth of fruit, and kind of that tea roses when it gets really old, but also this really wonderful overriding perfume.
How did you feel when you were bought by Constellation?
Well, I probably wouldn't have sold the winery if it had been up to me, but it wasn't up to me. I had partners, and they were getting older than I was.
Do you feel there are more wimpy wines in the world than ever, and if so, why?
I think that wimpy wines tend to be made by winemakers who've lost their center, who make a beverage as opposed to making wine that comes from a place that has the character of that place, and that is important to them, that tastes the way they want it to taste in their own heart.